Hello everyone and welcome to TVRI World Special Report on a very special event that is happening right now in Bali, which is World Water Forum, the largest water forum event in the world. The 10th World Water Forum, or WWF, has officially opened today, May 18. This forum, which brings together stakeholders across countries and international organizations, will be held in Bali for a week until May the 25th.
And that's right, the 10th WWF will have the theme Water for Shared Prosperity, which consists of three main processes, namely the political process, the regional process, and the thematic by involving all relevant stakeholders. Series of WW events will open with Balinese water purifications with the concept of the Rahina Tumpek Uyi activity and the Segara Kerti ceremony. There is also a Melukat ritual, which is, we will also be talking about this later, right, Luisa? Which is one of the side events at the 10th WWF in Bali.
A very interesting event happening indeed. So let's begin with our special report on the 2024 World Water Forum with the Melukat ritual. I am Luisa Kusnandar.
And I'm Stephanie Silitonga. So we will be with you for another 1.5 hours. And we will be also bringing to you what is the Melukat history and also the agenda of the WWF World Water Forum 2024.
So let's start. This is our special report. Now, what a proud moment. Indonesia is chosen as the host country of the 10th World Water Forum at the General Assembly of the World Water Council, or WWC, held in Dakar, Senegal on March 2022.
The 10th World Water Forum with the theme Water for Shared Prosperity will be held in Nusa Dua, Bali from May 18th to 25th. The forum is organized under framework agreement between the World Water Council and the Indonesian government. There will be a series of discussions on 6 sub-themes, namely water security and prosperity, water for humans and nature, disaster risk reduction and management, governance, cooperation, and hydro diplomacy, sustainable water finance, and knowledge and innovation. There are 4 main points that Indonesia will propose for recommendations to be included in the ministerial declaration at the meeting in Bali. The first point is the proposal to establish World Lake Day under the United Nations mechanism. The second point is to push the establishment of Center of Excellence on Water and Climate Resilience. The Meteorology, Climatology, and Geophysics Agency has submitted a concept that focuses on aspects of research cooperation and exchange of information. The proposal also includes the structure and organization arrangement and plan of operational funding sources. The third point is water management for small islands. In this point, Indonesia also advocates for strengthening the capacity of outer islands in producing clean water. Therefore, water management issues still need to be contextualized within global-scale issues that are not limited to island countries and small island states. And the last point is recording a list of water projects as compendium of concrete deliverables and actions. This point is inclusive but voluntary. It contains a list of projects, initiatives, and collaborations managed by stakeholders in water sector at national, regional, and international levels. Indonesia will also prepare an online platform for the submission process.
Well, it's definitely very exciting to be in Bali, I assume right now, and we have our reporter right now standing by in Bali to give us the latest report on what's going on in Bali from the World Water Forum, the 10 World Water Forum that is happening right now from Nusa Dua, Bali, as well as from Kura Kura Island. Let's head to Sesko Satrio. Hello, Sesko.
Hello, Louisa and Stephanie. On our part of the 10th World Water Forum here, live from Nusa Dua, Bali, we will bring you the latest and the updates of the World Water Forum that today has started, because today, the 18th of May, is the first day of the forum, and the forum will run through until May 25th, 2024. And this special report, or today's special activities, is about the Balinese purification water. But the hype of this forum has started even days before, and even the head of the regional office of the Ministry of Law and Human Rights Bali, Pramela Yunidar Pasaribu, stated on Friday in Denpasar, Bali, that the delegates of the 10th World Water Forum have started to arrive in Igusti Ngurah Rai International Airport, Bali. And the ministry has prepared 3 immigration check counters to facilitate the delegates.
Pramela Yunidar Pasaribu explains some of the delegates of World Water Forum arrived in Bali on Wednesday, and some others are expected to arrive before the opening of the World Water Forum on May 18, 2024. It is estimated that around 9,477 delegates from 104 countries will attend the world's largest water forum to be held in Nusa Dua, Badung Regency, Bali. To ensure a smooth flow of delegates and regular passengers at the immigration checkpoint, the Bali Regional Office of Kemenkumham has separated the lanes without neglecting the regular passengers. There are 3 immigration counters with a total of 12 officers, with each counter manned by 3 immigration officers. For regular passenger checks, 30 autogates or automated immigration document inspection facilities and 10 inspection countries with a total of 40 officers have been prepared. For immigration checks for delegates, Pramela revealed several mechanisms. Immigration check for head of state level or VVIP will be conducted in the VVIP building. Meanwhile, immigration check for ministerial level or VIP will be conducted in the VIP building, and other delegates will be checked in the International Arrivals Terminal. On the other hand, Ngurah Rai Immigration has also installed signage at several strategic points to facilitate the delegates' process to the inspection counters and conducted training for immigration officers to serve international delegates. Previously, the Minister of Public Works and Housing, Basuki Hadimulyono, as the National Committee for the 10th World Water Forum, said 7 heads of state are scheduled to arrive in Bali, namely Timor-Leste, Fiji, Tajikistan, Sri Lanka, Hungary, Morocco, and Indonesia as the host. Meanwhile, the presence of 1 other head of state is still awaiting confirmation. Additionally, there will be 3 deputy prime ministers from Malaysia, Papua New Guinea, Slovakia, and 3 special presidential envoys from the Netherlands, France, and the United Arab Emirates.
And today, May 18th, 2024, is the start or the first day of the 10th World Water Forum here in Nusa Dua, Bali. As many as 1,700 delegates will participate in a series of activities to kick off the 10th World Water Forum. One of these activities is water purification, or known as melukat in Balinese culture.
The Meteorology, Climatology, and Geophysics Agency has submitted a concept that focuses on aspects of research cooperation and exchange of information. The proposal also includes the structure and organization arrangement and plan of operational funding sources. The third point is water management. In this point, advocates for strengthening the capacity of outer islands in producing clean water. Therefore, water management issues still need to be contextualized within global-scale issues and small island states. And the last point is recording a list of water projects as compendium of concrete deliverables and actions. This point is inclusive but voluntary. It contains a list of projects, initiatives, and collaborations managed by stakeholders in water sector at national, regional, and international levels.
Ceremony will be part of the Segara Kerti ceremony titled Bali Nice, which will take place today, or this Saturday, May 18th, at the beach in the Bali Turtle area in the Economic Special Zone. A total of 1,700 delegates from the 10th World Water Forum have registered to attend the Segara Kerti ceremony. The Segara Kerti ritual, or worship ceremony, aimed at honoring the sea and worshipping the sea god Baruna, will be accompanied by the Tumpek Lia ritual, a tribute to animals, starting at 8 a.m. Bali time. The activities of the delegates will begin 3:30 Central Indonesian times, during which 3 priors will chant prayers, followed by dance and gamelan performances, speeches from the Bali provincial government and the Central Committee, worship, and concluded with the release of turtles, birds, and hatchlings on the beach.
And in this forum, we anticipate that it will be filled with discussions and talks, and also sharing the issues and also the solutions and projects to help every participant get an easier or better access to clean water and sanitation. And approximately around 120 strategic projects related to water and sanitation worth $9.4 billion will be agreed upon at the 10th World Water Forum in Bali, which will be held on May 18th to 25th, 2024.
During the 10th World Water Forum National Committee Coordination meeting at Laguna Resort and Spa Bali on Thursday, Indonesia's Coordinating Minister for Maritime Affairs and Investment, Luhut Binsar Panjaitan, said the forum is expected to approve 120 strategic water projects worth $9.4 billion, including those initiated by Indonesia during the G20 in Bali in 2022. Namely, G20 Bali Global Blended Finance Alliance, or GBFA, which will finance the projects related to climate change and water crisis. There will be the launch of GBFA Secretariat and the signing of Letter of Intent with several countries as founding members on May 20. Luhut asked the organizing committee to ensure the preparation for the 10th World Water Forum because President Joko Widodo and several heads of state will be present. He emphasized it is also necessary to pay attention to media publications, especially international media, in particular on the ministerial declaration, which proposes three main issues, namely integrated water resources management on small islands, Center of Excellence on Water and Climate Resilience, and the declaration of World Lake Day, which will be submitted to the UN to be included in the UN Water Agenda.
The highlight of the day, the first day of the 10th World Water Forum, is undoubtedly the traditional Balinese water purification ceremony known as Melukat. This ceremony holds deep significance for the Balinese people, symbolizing the cleansing of both the body and soul and reflecting the sacred nature of water in their culture. And TVRI World Shafira Junior has more, and we will connect with her. Hello, Shafira. Shafira, can you tell us how's the situation and what are the agendas that will be delegates there? Okay. I think we had a bit of problem on the audio, and I think that's all for today's segment live from Nusa Dua Bali here about the 10th World Water Forum. Stay update with us because we'll bring you the latest information on the 10th World Water Forum in every special report here on TVRI World. It's Sesko Satrio, back to the studio with Stephanie and Luisa.
All right, thank you very much, Sesko Satrio, for your report from Bali for the WWF. So now what do we have, Luisa?
Next, we have more information from the World Water Forum that is happening right now in Bali, where the Denpasar administration adorned some parts of the city with hundreds of traditional Balinese decorative bamboo poles, or what is known as penjors, on Friday to welcome the delegates of the 10th World Water Forum. Let's take a look. The head of Tourism Department of Denpasar, Niluh Putu Riastiti, said on Wednesday the Denpasar City Administration will place over 300 penjors from the exit toll of Bali Mandara, Benoa heading to the west up to the entrance of the Bali Turtle Island development in Serangan area Denpasar. Penjor is a curved ornament pole made from bamboo adorned with coconut leaves, often spanning several meters in length. Riastiti said most penjors will hang over in the beach area of Bali Turtle Island development and in the Ngurah Rai Forest Park to enliven the 10th World Water Forum, which will begin this weekend. Now, in the meantime, on May 18, Segara Karti is a ritual of water glorification ceremony will take place in the beach area of Bali Turtle Island development as an activity of the International Forum.
Bali, which is famous with its cultural and spiritual traditions, has so many places for Melukat ceremony, the ritual to cleanse the body both spiritually and physically from the negative elements from present life as well as past lives. One of the places which recently attracted world celebrities to visit is the Tirta Empul Temple. So the Balinese people know that the Melukat ritual taking place next to Tampak Siring Presidential Palace is always crowded with local and foreign tourists. And for the 10th World Water Forum, which opens this Saturday, which is today, Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy Sandiaga Uno has prepared Melukat as an agenda and invited delegates of the event to experience the ancestral ritual and to find out more about this purifications cleansing ceremony. We have now connected with Professor Dr. I Gede Pitana, MSc, Professor of Tourism Science, Udayana University, and Hindu spiritualist. Good afternoon, Professor Dr. I Gede Pitana. Thank you very much for joining us here on TVRI World on our special report. How are you?
Hello, Professor. We're still having trouble to hear your audio. Perhaps if you could just check that it's not muted at the moment.
Okay.
Hello,
Thank you,
Professor.
Lucia and Stephanie.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me to discuss in this afternoon. Bali is very well, very clear sky. It's very good to welcoming the delegates of WWF.
And I assume it's also very crowded right there in Bali with so many hundreds of people flocking into Bali to join the World Water Forum. Now, first of all, Professor, today is where the procession starts with Melukat in Bali. Now, a lot of us have heard of Melukat or water purification. It's even viral on Instagram lately because it's just a very, very interesting and very special ritual that even tourists go to experience Melukat. Now, first of all, could you please explain to us, Professor, what is Melukat and how is this Melukat experience integrated into the daily lives of Balinese?
Well, Melukat is in fact a spiritual bathing or spiritual cleansing of the body and soul. And Melukat is really well integrated to the Balinese life. I mean Balinese Hindu. Every time we do Melukat and every time we do praying, we always started with Melukat first. And there are a lot of Melukat places in Bali, whether it is on sea, on the meeting place of the river, and in the spring, and also in the house of the priests. And lately, let's say in the last 10 years, Melukat is getting more famous because Melukat is already organized for tourism, and it is called part of the spiritual tourism. And just for your knowledge, I just wrote a book called Spiritual Tourism, and 4th chapter of this book is dedicated for discussing Melukat.
All right, Professor Dr. I Gede, we know that Melukat tradition is also based on the philosophy of the Balinese Hinduism philosophy. So we know that lots of celebrities also do this Melukat tradition. We would like to know how actually this Melukat reflect the beliefs and philosophy of Balinese spirituality.
In Balinese spirituality and in Balinese Hindu religion, water has a very special position. In fact, the religion was known before as the religion of water, the religion of Tirtha. Tirtha means holy water. So the most important thing in every ritual is the presence of the holy water. And holy water has a lot of function. And of course, one of the function is cleansing the ritual, cleansing the ornament of the ritual, and cleansing the people who follow or participate in the ritual. And again, based on your question, how it is part of the Balinese philosophy? Yes, indeed, water is very important, and holy water is always, and it is a must component in every ritual.
Now, Professor Gede, we talked about Melukat in general, but can you please explain to us step by step, how do people actually do the Melukat ritual or this water purification ritual? Step by step, please guide us, Professor Gede.
Okay. Before explaining the step of the Melukat ritual, I would like to put forward first, Melukat can be done in many places. on the sea, on the river, on the Champuan. Champuan is the when the two rivers meets, and also in the priest in the house of the priest. The step is the first we do our offering to the god, or in this case mostly to the local deities, and then start with purification using the real water. It depends on where we are doing our melukat. If we are doing in the sea, of course, we have to dive. If we are doing in the spring, we have to cleanse ourselves first using the spring water. If we are doing melukat in the river, then we have to bathe in the river. If we are melukat in the house of the priest, then we pour ourselves first with the holy water. That's the second step.
All right. With this modern life now, what is the challenges actually for the melukat tradition? Is it still implemented in Balinese life, Professor?
It is still highly demanded by the people because every time Balinese people have some problem, they will go to melukat. And this melukat has now become, quote unquote, commercialized, packaged in tourism product.
So since you said that this melukat has become commercialized, or you mentioned earlier that there is also spiritual tourism, do you think this is actually a good thing, or is this in fact something that is getting a little bit insensitive, since you know, a lot of people actually do melukat or water purification, you know, just for the sake of trying it, experiencing it? Or is it, you know, like based on your religion that this melukat is really open for everyone to try it, and it's good that right now it's gaining more popularity in Bali?
Well, before judging whether it is good or bad, I would like to put forward first that Balinese religion is not very, very exclusive. It is inclusive religion. Everyone is welcome. We never put border between we are Bali and they are not Balinese, or we are Hindu, they are not Hindus. So everyone is welcome as long as they behave very well, including how to use the Balinese traditional custom. For your knowledge, as long as I know, Balinese people are not bordered by the presence of the people, whether they are Indonesian from outside island or foreigners from abroad. As long as, again, they behave very well. Balinese people are very welcoming to the people outside. So, well, of course, there are some complaints because out of 100 tourists, there may be one or two behave not really in line with Balinese tradition, Balinese value. But it is very small compared to the common tourism. And as I mentioned also before, spiritual tourists who are going to Melukat are those who are really going to Bali to experience Balinese tradition. The segment we call special interest tourists. And they are mainly concerned to culture, concerned to environment, not really like the lesser tourists or in general.
Well, I like how you just put that, you know, the Balinese religion, the Hinduism is a very inclusive religion and very open to people. And I think that is one of the things that makes people always feel very welcome when they go to Bali, is because everyone is always so kind, so warmth. And as you mentioned just now, even this melukat or water purification ritual is really open for everyone to try. Yeah.
That's right, yes.
Exactly.
Right. And we know also water is revered in Balinese Hinduism. It's very important as a symbol of purity, life, and divine energy, as you also mentioned earlier. So you also mentioned that this melukat is still relevant in today's life, in this modern era, as lots of people from around the world also come to Bali to do these melukat traditions. But we also want to know, you as an observer as well, how do you see this melukat will still be relevant in the future?
Uh, I may use my own experience. I'm a high priest in Bali, and a lot of people come to my house called griya or something like pesantren. In fact, they are not only Hinduism. People come from China, people come from Philippines, my friends come from US, come to my house to do melukat. So I serve them because I don't distinguish, I don't make a special border between Balinese and non-Balinese. So for me, this is really a good way of uh, a good way of developing special interest tourism in Bali because Molucas is really in line what the tradition of Balinese people is. So I don't have any worry about that. But of course, we have to make special arrangement about the do and the don't. Of course, non-Hindus cannot do everything that is done by the Balinese. There are some border, of course. But again, as long as they behave very well, custom and politely, they are more than welcome.
I see. And Professor Gede, you mentioned earlier too that you have wrote a book about spiritual tourism. Can you tell us more about this and if there are other rituals in Bali besides Melukat that may be going more popular in the coming future?
Yes, aside from Melukat, in this book I explain a number of a number of segment tourism called spiritual tourism. Aside from Melukat, there are also heritage tourism, temple tour. They go from temple to temple, they observe, and they also feel the experience of being a Balinese. Even though they are not Hindu, for us, we still allow them as long as they behave well and use traditional Balinese custom. I mean, the clothing, the dressing is very well. So again, aside from Melukat, we have also religious tourism. We have also heritage tourism. We have also a number of waterfall tourism, which is also a kind of spiritual tourism.
Well, I think Bali really has a lot to offer. I mean, people, when they think about Bali, usually they just think, you know, nice beaches, nice resort, especially since the World Water Forum is happening in Nusa Dua, where all the nice resorts are. But, you know, there are a lot more that Bali can offer culturally as well as spiritually, as you just told us just now, yeah?
That's right. Yeah. When people talk
And
about
and and I learned because I'm also a professor in tourism. I learned there is very strong trends in tourism that most of tourists now come not for leisure but for experience to find the meaning of the life.
I totally agree with that. I mean, it's just, you know, when you do the normal things every day on holidays, sometimes people will get, you know, really bored out of it. You're doing the usual stuff, but seeking experiences, new experiences, especially like spiritual tourism, just now, of course, it will enrich the probably the person coming to Bali, yeah?
That's right, the life balance, right, that we all need actually in life. So when people talk about Bali, what comes first in their mind is, of course, the culture. That we are very proud of being Indonesian, and we have Bali as well, right? So, Professor, if you could also tell us about what has been, you know, different, or what has been like the transformations on the journey of this Melukat tradition, as this has been around for like thousands of years.
Melukat has been one of the tradition among Balinese Hindus and also Hindu in India, of course. However, there are a lot of changes because of the changes in social, cultural, economy, and technology. If we do Melukat, let's say 20 years ago, it is very unorganized. But lately, a number of Melukat, well, I would say, for example, in Sudomala, in Pancoran Solas, in Tambowaras, in Bangli and Salo, and a number of places, it is now very well organized very with a clear SOP, so to say. So this is, for me, it is a good development. So this is what I said before. We develop tourism for economic purposes, but still based on the tradition, and even we strengthen the tradition. That's my observation.
And now with the World Water Forum happening at the moment in Bali for the next 1 week, Professor, can you share with us what is your opinion on the World Water Forum?
Of course, it is very good. Unfortunately, I was invited to deliver my speech there. I couldn't make it because the schedule is not met. But the challenge in Bali, speaking about the water, is the pollution of the water, plastic pollution, and also scarcity of the water. And we are now having a big problem about the water in Bali. And when we talk about water, especially irrigation water in Bali, the irrigation water is no longer enough in Bali because of the deforestation and then pollution of the water, pollution of the earth, of the land, and so forth, and the soil, I mean. The waste problem in Bali is very bad. Sorry to say, but that is the reality. And when we talk about the waste problem, it is directly impacting the quality of the water, edible water or for irrigation water. So I do hope strongly that WWF will come up with implementable resolution and a real project to take action on Balinese water scarcity and pollution. Thank you, Luisa, and thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you, Professor. And still about this World Water Forum, the 10th that is being held in Bali, we would like to also to know in what ways do you think this Melukat ceremony be used as tool for raising awareness about water conservation, and cultural heritage. So how would this actually Melukat tradition can also spread awareness about how the importance of water is?
The first, there will be awareness and consciousness that water is indeed very highly valued in Bali. It has a multiple function, and sometimes the character of the water is also one of the lessons we have to learn. Water is very calm but very hard. Water can adapt itself to any place, and so forth and so forth. We learn a lot from the water. And again, this Melukat tradition practice for the WWF, I think will have a lot of meaning. Aside from the importance of the water, we also aware that we need a clean water, we need a holy water, and we need also water for irrigation, water for our daily life.
Professor Igede, we are very sorry. All right, we will continue our conversation. This has been a very interesting conversation, right, Luisa? Later we will see what's happening now in the opening ceremony of the Melukat today, right? So,
and I believe Gilda will have a lot of things to say related to tourism.
Of course, we will want to talk more. We haven't been connected to Ibu Gilda yet, but soon, and we will talk more to Ibu Gilda about the tourism and also the economic sector of the World Water Forum's impact to Bali. Thank you so much, Professor Gede, for joining us here on Special Report, and maybe we'll chat with you again very shortly. But at the moment, we need to go back to Bali, to Nusa Dua, where we will see at the moment the opening ceremony is happening. Let's go see what's going on right now from Bali.
Let us take the inspiration from this water purification ceremony, which shapes and reinforces the links between community members, fosters solidarity and cooperation, and encourages respect for nature. In this assembly, We represent so many nations, so many cultures, and so many traditions, all united by a common cause, the preservation and sustainable management of our water resources. And as this solemn moment allows us to be fully conscious of our responsibility toward this vital resource and our commitment to future generations. Together, let us work hand in hand for a future where every human being has access to clean, safe water. It's a very great honor to be welcomed here today as we are gathering to discuss and shape the future of one of our planet's most precious resources, water, air. With this spirit of consideration, I'm convinced on behalf of the World Water Council that our exchanges will be fruitful, our decisions will be wise, and our actions will be efficient. Thank you again for this wonderful shared moment, and may all the gods and goddesses together watch over Bali and its people. Terima kasih teman-teman dari Bali dan Indonesia. Selamat menik Uppsala da Forum. Matur suksema.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Loic Fauchon, to deliver the speech this afternoon.
All right, so that was a speech or greeting ceremony from the Loic Fauchon, President of World Water Council. So really appreciate how he says thank you in Balinese word. And he also mentioned actually about how this water forum is very important and how this water is actually this forum is really spread awareness about water. And actually, Luisa, water is part of the SDG, right? The number 6 SDG. So that's why it's very important. So now, Luisa, we will go back again to Bali. We have Pak Luhut.
There we go. Okay.
Om Swastiastu. Good afternoon and greetings to all of you. President of the World Water Council, Mr. Loic Fauchon, my friend Minister Basuki, Governor of Bali, Bapak Mahendra Jaya, the Board of Governors, Minister and senior official from participating countries, Minister, the Republic of Indonesia, local government, indigenous people, and communities, all sponsors and private sectors, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. We thank God for blessing us with the opportunity to attend the first agenda item of the 10th World Water Forum 2024, the Balinese water purification ceremony on this afternoon in a good health. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the 10th World Water Forum kicked out with the Balinese water purification ceremony, which is, I think, very, very important so you understand the cultures of the people of Indonesia, especially the Balinese. Sagara Kerti ritual that honors natures and prays for event success. Some foreign people, they thought that we don't care about the environment. When you attend this ceremony, you see how do we care about the environment, how do we care about the climate change. You see how do we respect to the nature, we respect also to the animal. So we show to you not only talking, but also we show to you with this ritual that you attend today. Because it is purpose, people always attempt to care for in order to keep the condition or quality of the water. As Balinese, these people must protect the spring environment. Ladies and gentlemen, the ritual celebrates the significance of water in Balinese culture and promotes the traditional practice of growing Segara Kerti water. The wisdom of Segara Kerti, which means adoration of water, particularly beaches and the sea, is derived from Hindu beliefs. The Segara Kerti ritual is part of the Set Kerti teaching, which includes 6 noble behaviors to defend the universe. It demonstrates the Balinese people native wisdom both physically and spirituality. This event is noteworthy gesture of caring for and purifying the sea and large-scale the sea. In addition to being a source of water, it is also largest habitat for living species. So this ceremony was timed to coincide with the Tumpak Wili holiday, which is an appropriate day to honor animal. On this good occasion, I would like to express my high appreciation for the support and cooperation from all parties, especially the Bali Provincial Government and the Bali Turtle Island Development, Mayo Indonesia, Blue Water as a private sector who support this event. Finally, we invite everyone to follow event tradition for success in the upcoming event next week. What is more important, how we work together and create water for shared prosperity. And I believe if we work together, we can do a lot of good things for the human being and also for the nature. Thank you very much.
Well, that was our Coordinating Minister of Maritime and Investment Affairs, Bapak Luhut Binsar Panjaitan, giving his opening remarks at the opening ceremony of the World Water Forum that is happening right now in Bali, where he shows his appreciation as well as support from all of the stakeholders to make this first ever World Water Forum happening in Bali, in Nusa Dua as well, and in Kura-Kura Island or Turtle Island. And apart from that, he also mentioned how important it is for the Melukat ceremony or Melukat ritual to happen, because it shows how much water is very important for our environment. And right now we are also connected with our next interviewee. We are connected with Ibu Gilda Sagrados from the Secretariat of Bali Tourism Board. Hello, Ibu Gilda. Good evening, Ibu Gilda.
Ibu Gilda, can you hear us? Good afternoon, Bu
Hello,
Gilda.
good afternoon. Good evening. Yes, I can hear you. Are you able to receive my audio?
Yes,
Yes,
we hear you very
yes.
clear.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us here, Bu Gilda.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you very much for your invitation.
Well, we're always happy to have you here with us on TVRI World, Ibu Gilda. And first of all, let's talk about the Melukat ceremony that is happening in Bali today. What do you think of it? I mean, like Melukat, as just now Minister Luhut Binsar Panjaitan have mentioned that Melukat is very special ceremony because it actually represents the importance of water. But we would like to know more of your opinion on having this Melukat ritual as the opening, part of the opening ceremony of the World Water Forum happening in Bali.
Indeed, it is so exciting for us at the Bali Tourism Promotion. 700 people going to experience this Melukat ceremony, the water purification ceremony, the true Balinese special offering session. And today is such a special day. This is the Tumpak Kandang or Tumpak Uye, the day that we honor the animals, our brothers and sisters of the universe together with us, the humans, as well as the trees. So the animals are actually being greeted today, and this is a cycle of every 210 days within the Balinese lunar calendar. So we are so excited that everyone is taking this opportunity, such a perfect day on this Saturday of Tumpak Kandang or Tumpak Uye, to have the water purification or Melukat in conjunction with the World Water Forum 2024 in Bali.
Okay, Ibu Gilda, we would also like to know from the tourism perspective, perhaps how this Melukat ritual actually promoted to tourism industry. As Minister Luhut also mentioned, that this water as a core essential basic necessity for people, and through this World Water Forum, the 10th WWF that is held for several days in Bali, we would also like to promote about how important water is in the culture or tradition in Bali.
As has been mentioned by Coordinating Minister Luhut, as well as Professor Pitana earlier during the interview, water and life are inextricably linked in the Balinese way of life. Balinese Hindu dharma of using the various rituals together with water every day. It is because inextricably we are always using water within our offerings, within our daily lives, within our ceremonies and day-to-day interaction with the people, even within our economic platforms. So, for example, just today, for whole entire day, I had actually done 3 times of Melukat, because earlier this morning, it was a blessing for myself, doing a ceremony or doing our special presentations of the Balinese Chanang, special plates of flowers and in beautiful colors, put onto a plate of coconut leaves. This was presented to our pet, little Kintamani dog, as well as 2 birds, 3 chickens, and a cat within our family compound. So today also, you will see within the various temples during throughout the entire day, like the monkey forests in Uluwatu or in Ubud, you will have a tower of fruits presented to the monkeys that are within the compound of the monkey forest or the various sacred temples of Bali. Today, we are putting together the balance of humanity and water itself, putting water in the center core of our human activities, because the human itself, we are made up majority of water. So our body itself contains a majority of water, and the tradition of Bali embraces the need for the purity element of water to be put together, interweaved within our day-to-day life. And like Minister Coordinating Minister Luhut has mentioned, yes, indeed, water is such an important, pure element that is so much linked and embedded within the celebration of Life Day today in Bali.
I like how you put it there, Ibu Gilda, that water is, if it's not one of the most important, it is the most important element we have. I mean, without water, we really can't live without water for more than a couple of days. Now, Ibu Gilda, speaking of Melukat, can you please also explain to us how does the water symbolizes during the ritual? Does it means like it cleanses the body spiritually, or not just physically, but also spiritually, or how does the ritual actually has its meaning?
Thank you very much. Within the Balinese culture, the mind frame of the mentality, the heart, as well as the physical body. So there are actually three parts to how the water will touch a human life. First, in the mentality, we have the celebration of water blessing called Banyu Pinaru. And this day is celebrated right up, as you know, is the goddess of knowledge. So the day of Banyu Pinaru is celebrated one day right after. So Saraswati Day is the final day of the Balinese calendar of 210-day cycle. And the water blessing day is the first day, which is Banyu Pinaru, the Sunday celebrated right after the knowledge day. So the knowledge is actually considered like a flowing water. Water is a flow that is important. As you know, stagnant water is not very useful. However, water is a flow of cycle. It is going up into the mountains, onto the skies, and down again, and up again, onto the skies, and down again. So the cycle is there, and the flow is there, and therefore it is such a refreshing thing for the mind. So in Melukat, the first freshness that is given to all that is receiving the Melukat is actually the freshness of the mind, like a wake-up call, like awareness shaken into the presence, the now of the people. Hey, you are here, this is the now, and please bring your mind into the center of where you are, the location, your geology right now. Secondly, will be the heart. The heart is again a flow and cycle, and therefore the water, meaning within the beauty and the absorbing of water, putting together into the health. Physically, that's number three, where we do need it consumed and putting together into our nutrients and flowing into our whole physical body. These are the three levels that water can touch a human life. That's the meaning of water purification. The Melukat, it will touch a human in three deep levels.
Wow, Ibu Gilda, that is such a very good explanation of the importance of water. I mean, it's not just cleansing our body physically, but also cleansing our mind and our spiritual. It's just really good. Ibu Gilda, you're a very good ambassador of water. And thank you so much, but please hold on, because right now we are going straight back to Bali again, where we will see what is going on at the moment in Bali. Let's take a look.
Ambil sekar kedik sap-sapang ring tangan. Pinake pemurwaning sembah, asep-asepin tangan duwene ngaturang sembah puyung. Durus kawitin. Inggih, tedunang Sembah keping kalih mau piranti antuk sekar peta. Pengacap ring ide betara surya. Sembah bakti durus kawitin. Inggih tedunang. Sembah keping 3 mau piranti antuk sekar catur warna. Pengacap majeng ring ide betara catur dewata. Inggih durusang. Puput. Selanturnya nih sembah keping 4. Mau piranti untuk kuangin pengacap ring ide betara baruna dumugi keselamatan kerahayuan ring sarwo peranine sami. Sembah bakti durus kawitin. Inggih tedunang. Selanturnya nih sembah keping 5. Mau piranti antuk kuangin pengacap majeng ring ide sang yang kala sunia. Gumanti niledang nyak siang pekeleme puniki tur presida ide mau pice ngicalang sahananing panca baya sasap merana gering tetumpur ring jagate. Sembah bakti durus kawitin. Inggih tedun. Sembah keping 6. Mau piranti antuk sekar bara pengacap majeng ring ibu pertiwi. Nunasice mangde jagate gemah ripah loh jinawi asing tinandur mupu. Sembah bakti durus kawitin. Inggih tedun. Sembah keping 7 mau piranti antuk kuangin dan wenten kuangin kangkat sekar mewarna-warni pengacep ring ide betara sami ngaturang upekara guru piduke miwah bendu piduke. Sembah bakti durus kawitin. Inggih, puput. Sembah keping kutus, malih mau piranti antuk kuangin, dan wenten kuangin kangkat sekar mewarna-warni. Pengacap majeng ring ide batara samudaya, sepisanan ngelungsur wara nugrahan ide. Sembah bakti, durus ngawit.
Now we come back again to Bu Gilda Sagrado. Bu Gilda, you still with us? Bu Gilda, we just saw on the screen that there is a praying taking place in the opening ceremony of this World Water Forum. Can you please explain to us what is this ceremony, perhaps, or this praying actually means?
Well, what I can see from the visual is that there is called the offering of flowers. So within a balance, our empty palms put together, and this is presented to greet the sword that the person is actually aware and completely present in the prayer. The second is typically a white flower. A white flower is presented to the sun. The sun is a representation of all energies of the world. The sun is a representation of the source of life, the source of circulation, the source of how life is a cycle. Second and third and fourth and fifth, I have noticed that many of the flowers, many of the various offers were presented to the numerous gods and gods. I have noticed just now is the goddess of the sea or the goddess of the ocean. And finally, there was also a flower or a colorful sets of flowers presented to all elements of the universe. And of course, as a closing, there will be again empty palms put together to greet each and every element and to say gratitude and to offer our thankfulness for being alive, for being here on earth. I think that was what I have observed for the few minutes that was happening just now within the visuals. What will be happening next would be the Melukat or the water purification ceremony itself.
I see. Now, while we are waiting for that, can we please talk more about the tourism side of this World Water Forum? Ibu Gilda, with this Melukat ritual happening in a moment, as well as just now we have seen the praying ritual, is it actually intentional that the Bali Tourism Board is actually pushing more of this spiritual tourism on board at the moment, and not just, the normal tourism showing, like beaches and places of interest for families and kids? But now, is it actually a thing to push spiritual tourism or religious tourism for people to attract tourists to come to Bali?
A good observation, Luisa. Mm-hmm. What I actually reflect would be similar to yours. However, it wasn't Bali that actually pushed out to invite people for tourism. It was actually probably accounted to the blip of 2-3 years during the pandemic that actually caused us, all of us, staying at home to become more and more aware of ourselves, our inner journey, and our self-engineering. And therefore, with such a great 2-3 years being within ourselves, more centered towards our understanding of the mind, heart, and spirit and the soul, we are actually been found by the people of the world to then who is actually searching of where to get the knowledge of the unity between mind, heart, body, and the soul. And it turns out they are able to Google here, experience it, and return back home, tell everyone at home about how Bali has actually been successfully able to give them or to answer to that inner yearning, the search of inner engineering about how they are able to have mental strengths, to have physical strengths, to have heart, emotional strengths to then answer to their lives moving forward for the future. I think this inner engineering, inner self-awareness, this yearning for finding the true meaning of life was the one that has driven a lot of people to come to Bali. And of course, Bali being very culturally oriented, being understanding of humanity, being so welcoming and so open to everyone, Bali has been able to give them answers and has been able to provide solutions. And this is the amazing thing. Everybody has now gone home. Over and above that, bring back more and more people coming to Bali for second, third, and fourth visits coming around.
Bu Gilda, we see now that we live in the world that's full of global influences, but somehow we see Bali still strong in its culture and tradition. So what are the challenges actually faced in maintaining the authenticity and originality of Melukat rituals in the context of mass tourism?
It is quite interesting when you put it together as a challenge when welcoming, like Professor P, bordering us from other people. We are so open and so welcoming. Therefore, we haven't identified this as a challenge of mass tourism. In fact, we are so delighted. A lot more people are interested to find their inner self, to understand that inner engineering is important, to find the solutions within their mentality, the mental health being so crucial within their day-to-day life and how to achieve their successes for the future. So for us, we find ourselves right now welcoming guests who are not staying in their hotel room for 2-3 nights and then leaving and returning back to their home country, but we found guests who are now entering into our markets, even the wet markets, visiting us into our homes and talking to us for hours and hours about knowledge of life, about the yearning of the deeper. I believe this is an opening of a huge awareness shake for humanity at large, and for a world conference to be wanting to do a Melukat. I think this is the first ever of its kind. I mean, we have been host to many, many world conferences and congresses for how many years has it been? Since the early 1960s or 1970s, but never in such a massive Melukat ceremony, purification for delegates, something so crucial and sacred to be incorporated within the agenda, the official agenda of the conference itself. And to have a World Water Forum, which is so huge in this world, talking and discussing by high-level leaders, ministers, presidents, to be then willing to come in and understand such a holy ritual and open up to such a culture that we feel so blessed and so excited. I mean, economically speaking, the World Water Conference have given us, for example, just 2x multiplied by 10,000 delegates for the next 7 days. You can already understand how many the consumption and the economy, considering furthermore the hotel occupants, car rentals. In fact, it is impacting our farmers and our fishermen, and all the way to even somebody along the street who is able to talk to guests, and even the monkeys are able to say hello to high-level delegates. We are so excited that this awareness has finally opened up. And this World Water Forum is so crucial and such a momentous occasion for us in Bali to be honored to have the delegates, more than 1,700 delegates participating in an official ceremony of purification of Melukat.
Well, exactly, Ibu Gilda. I mean, like, that is what very special about Bali, is that people don't just go to Bali these days just to enjoy the beach anymore. But now we have so many foreign tourists coming in because they want to experience something new from Bali. And of course, I mean, let's not forget to mention, you know, like the famous movie Eat, Pray, Love. I mean, in Ubud, I mean, that's where it started to make this you know, this trend of people going to Bali to heal themselves spiritually. And apparently that trend is still going strong. If not, it's going to get viral after this Melukat ritual happening in Bali in a moment.
I guess this 10th WWF, World Water Forum in Indonesia, perhaps can be like the most interesting, most unique World Water Forum in history, hopefully. Who knows?
Hopefully. All right, Ibu Gilda Sagrado, thank you so much for joining us on our talk on TVRI World Special Report on the World Water Forum today. And we'll see you again next time on TVRI World.
Thank you,
Ibu Gilda. All right, so we've been talking about World Water Forum for a while now, but we haven't been discussing about the history behind World Water Forum, yeah?
That's right. So Indonesia will host the 10th World Water Forum, WWF, this year. The international forum will be held in Bali from May 18 to 24. This is the history of the World Water Forum.
The World Water Forum is a meeting with the main objective of strengthening global collaboration and partnership to find ways and overcome water and sanitation challenges. The objectives of each forum are: first, to increase the strategic value of water by building political commitment in the promotion of water and sanitation management, which is the sixth goal of the SDGs. Second, to increase awareness of water as a global critical concern. And third, as a multi-stakeholder event to discuss and share experiences and develop knowledge and good practices in water and sanitation governance. The mechanism of the forum is divided into three processes, which are interrelated with each other, namely the political process, thematic process, and regional process. Specifically, the political process is divided into 5 segments, namely heads of state, government, ministerial, parliamentarian, local authorities, and basin authorities. The entire process at this stage will produce a ministerial declaration that reflects sustainable input from the thematic process and regional process. The international attention to water issues has grown rapidly over the years. The forum encourages the development of positive international trends to support further discussion towards the solution of international water issues in the 21st century, to formulate concrete proposals, and to bring the importance of these issues to the attention of the world. The World Water Forum, or WWF, was proposed by the World Water Council, or WWC. The first World Water Forum took place in Marrakesh, Morocco in 1997 with 400 participants, which aimed to address the global water crisis. The forum resulted in the Marrakesh Declaration, mandated the World Water Council, or WWC, to develop the World Water Vision for the 21st century. This declaration marked a crucial step towards resolving the water crisis. The vision was later published in 2000 and presented at the Second World Water Forum. The success of the forum was evident in the issuance of the Marrakesh Declaration and the establishment of WWC leadership in developing the World Water Vision for a sustainable future. In 2002, the Second World Water Forum took place in The Hague, the Netherlands. It generated significant discussions on the World Water Vision and associated action plans. One outcome was a proposal for a monitoring team to survey global water community efforts and reporting concrete action plans at the Third World Water Forum. The forum presented to around 5,700 participants from 130 countries, attended by 500 journalists, and a ministerial conference with 114 ministers, which resulted in the Hague Declaration on Water Security. The Third World Water Forum was held in Kyoto, Shiga, and Osaka of Japan in 2003. With over 24,000 participants, the forum brought together 1,300 official delegations from 170 countries and 47 international organizations. The forum resulted in the publication of the World Water Actions Report, analyzing 3,000 field actions and showcasing...
Now, what we've just seen just now is the history of the World Water Forum, where it happened all the way back there in Marrakesh and then to the Netherlands, and finally now happening in Nusa Dua in Bali. And right now we will head back to Bali, where we're going to see the next procession. Right there we see all the delegates, and there we have our Coordinating Minister of Maritime and Investment Affairs, Bapak Luhut Binsar Panjaitan. I believe they're holding a bird right there and a dove. Okay.
So please allow me to count down.
And next they will be releasing the animals back into the world. Let's have a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have a big round of applause for this ceremony. Thank you, Excellency. Please kindly remain on the stage to witness the cooking or baby turtle reading ceremony. Turtles are one of the wildlife species that must be protected. They play a super role in the marine ecosystem for the marine environment. Turtles are critical species that help maintain the balance of marine species. Turtles are one of the wildlife species that must be protected. They play a spiritual role in the marine ecosystem. For the marine environment, turtles are keystone species that help maintain the balance of marine species and habitat. The act of releasing tukik into the water is a sacred practice in Balinese culture. It represents our reverence for the sea, our gratitude for its blessing, and our hopes for harmonious relationship with the ocean. Let us offer our prayers for the purification of our hearts and mind, for the healing of our planet, and for the protection of our ocean and waterways.
Dan sesaat lagi kita akan melakukan prosesi pelepasan tukik Dan pelepasan akan kita pandu bersama-sama dengan hitung mundur. Dan mohon kerjasamanya dan mohon berkenan kepada seluruh media kecuali media official untuk bergeser, tidak memenuhi ruang pelepasan. Sekali lagi kami mengundang untuk seluruh official media partner kecuali official media WWF untuk memberi ruang pelepasan agar prosesi dapat berjalan dengan baik dan lancar. Atas kerjasamanya kami ucapkan terima kasih.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, now we will see the procession of release of the Tukik, and we will, please allow me to count down.
Sekali lagi kami mohon kerjasamanya kepada para media partner selain official. Mohon berkenan kepada seluruh media partner selain official untuk bergeser dan memberikan ruang pelepasan agar prosesi dapat berjalan dengan baik dan lancar. Terima kasih.
So please allow me to release the Tukik to count down in 3, 2, 1. So may I have your round of applause for the ceremony of release of Tukik.
Such a beautiful processions as we saw the release of doves, turtles, and indeed this represents of harmony of nature, of life.
And it is such, I mean, it is such a fantastic ceremony. I mean, like I've never seen such an opening ceremony so grand. I mean, it's not just, you know, usually it's very serious and official, but this time it has, you know, it has so many spiritual and rituals happening, and it's just really, really Bali.
Right.
Bali to
very
its,
rich in culture
yes.
as well. So we would like to thank to our speakers today. In this special report, we had Ibu Gilda Sagrado, an executive of the Bali Tourism Promotion Board, as well as we have Professor Dr. I Gede Pitana, MSc, Professor of Tourism Science, Udayana University, and Hindu spiritualist.
And stay tuned on TVRI World because we will be giving you plenty of live reports from today and on for the whole rest of the week from the World Water Forum that is happening in Bali. And that ends our special report today. Thank you so much for watching us. I am Luisa Kusnandar.
And I'm Stephanie Silitonga. Thanks everyone and see you next time.
Bye-bye.